Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to take a moment to highlight one of the things that this game here is kind of addresses when I have my criticisms about the tedium in Elite Dangerous. My last video that I made about Elite Dangerous went over the reasons why I'm pretty much done with that game for now. And the solutions that I gave to the problem are kind of how this game has been developed in general. Now, this is a very early access title. I'm sure there's plenty of ways that they could find to add tedium to the game if they really wanted to. But so far, it seems like the goal is to make the game as when you're doing something, and when you're not doing something, you're not. So for the way that this game works, there are these floating islands that you're basically trying to get to so that you can try to find cool stuff, right? And you're trying to build your ship and you're trying to upgrade it and you're trying to do all this kind of cool stuff. For the purposes of this video, I don't want to talk about the specifics of this game and why the mechanics of this game, because the mechanics of this game don't have anything to do with Elite Dangerous. I want to talk about the concept of the way that things are done in this game as it compares to Elite Dangerous. Because on the surface, these two games have nothing to do with each other. But one of my solutions for travel in Elite Dangerous has been something on the order of a galactic super cruise, or a long jump version of the frame shift drive, where you're able to basically just go from you're basically able to use all of your fuel and jump as far as you normally would be able to doing short little jumps in one big jump, and just sit in hyperspace for a couple of minutes until that's done. Okay? And the response I got on the forums and in a couple of responses to my videos was something along the lines of, well, you don't want to play the game. And it's like, well, no, I do want to play the game. I just don't want to have to be actively involved in the process of getting from one place to another when there's no gameplay involved in that. It's just getting from one place to another. This game approaches travel in the right way. You don't have to be actively involved in the travel if you don't want to. And for the most part, it's actually a waste. It's a complete waste of your time to sit here at the helm and constantly be steering the ship and doing a bunch of stuff and trying to do anything, because it doesn't get you anywhere any faster. It takes as long as it takes to get to the next island, and while you're doing that, you can walk around your ship and do things. I don't want to highlight that part, because ship interiors are something that many of us in Elite Dangerous have been clamoring for, and they're never going to do it because it's just a lot of work and they don't see any perceived benefit to it. But imagine if in Elite Dangerous you could walk around your ship like this, regardless of how much there is to do. The feeling of being able to walk around your ship, this game gives you that, okay? But the travel thing is really the thing I'm trying to focus on. I literally, because it takes several minutes to get from one island to another, got up, did my dishes. I only have a little bit of dishes. It was just my own dishes. But I was able to get up and go do some dishes, but I'm still making meaningful progress towards my next objective, because travel doesn't require me to sit here and go and do stuff, and I'm involved in the process, and oh my god, I have to sit here and do the travel. No, this is how you do travel in a video game that involves ships. You don't force your players to sit there and have to do something that's ridiculous, especially in a hybrid like this. This is just a stupid little flying sailboat. That's all this is. I've been here before. Let me just follow the wind. There's a stupid little flying sailboat, right? Elite Dangerous, the ships are hyper advanced, crazy advanced, faster than light traveling ships. There's no reason why the player should be forced to sit there at the joystick, jump, fuel scoop, jump, fuel scoop, jump, fuel scoop, jump. No. Make your game like this, where you set the ship towards whatever destination that you want to go to. It takes a certain amount of time. That's the time investment. And then if you don't have anything to do on your ship, I can get up and go start my dinner right now, but still be making progress towards my next objective, because my next objective is over there, and I'm still moving towards my next objective. But I don't have to sit here and just micromanage everything. No, I point my ship in the right direction, off it goes. I can come over here and have my character just kind of sit on the bench and, keep an eye out for the various dangerous monsters that might be around. But for the most part, I can get up. Watch, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna walk over here, and I'm over by my kitchen sink, and I'm able to kind of do stuff over here, but I'm watching the game while I'm doing it to make sure nothing crazy's happening. still making progress towards my destination while I'm over here doing whatever I'm doing. And then, you know, when it starts to seem like something's going to happen, I can walk back over, sit down, I can check on things, look around, make sure nothing crazy's happening, and then, oh, look, we're getting kind of close to our destination, but I was able to spend a couple minutes doing something more productive than, you know, manually flying over towards a destination because there's some kind of moral requirement that you must be actively involved. No, that's stupid. And games like this prove that. There is no reason to force players to arbitrarily be involved in a process that should be either automated or streamlined or whatever. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. This game right here highlights the basic idea of why I left Elite Dangerous in the first at the end of this, because all they have to do is make their space game work more like this. That will drastically reduce the tedium, and then when you get to a place where there's actually something to do, then you sit down, you focus on the game, you go and you put your time and energy and manual effort into whatever it is that you're doing, and then you point your ship in the next direction and go find something else. And while that's happening, time is still being expended. It's being invested. There's, you know, there is something being done for what you're doing. I think my rudder is going to hit. I think we might have cleared it. Okay. Okay. This is the point that I'm trying. This highlights the point I was trying to make at the end of my video, because so many people seem to think that the idea that those of us who want to change things are trying to push is that we don't want to have to do anything in the game. No, I don't want to have to do the things that return nothing to me. Okay? Actively being involved in the travel process does not add to the value I get out of doing things. Because the value is what you do when you get there. The travel should just be the thing that it should be a time requirement that you have to do to get to where you're going, right? But there's no value added there other than the time you spent on it. Being forced to manually fly your ship does not make it more valuable. It just doesn't. It does not have any kind of value add at all. And that's my problem with the travel system in Elite Dangerous. It's why I want it changed. It's why I want a long jump module or a galactic super cruise or something that makes the travel bearable to do. Because the way it exists now, especially with hundreds and hundreds of jumps to get where you're trying to go, it's too tedious. I would much rather have a system where I can set it in a direction and then I can just sit back and watch a show or go do my dishes or go make my dinner or whatever. And the time is I'm still taking time to get where I'm going, but I'm not having to be actively involved in the process. So this concept can be applied to a bunch of different things, but I wanted to specifically highlight it here because this game does travel correctly. This game does travel correctly. This game does travel how travel should be done in Elite Dangerous. Where the travel is just the necessary time requirement, not something you have to be invested in somehow. I completely disagree with the idea that travel should be something that you have to physically invest in. So that's what I wanted to say. Again, I know there's going to be people that disagree because, I don't know, you just don't think the same way that I do, but I don't know. I don't, like, if Elite Dangerous, if Elite Dangerous had a travel system, well, no, there's a couple of things. There's one of the travel, if they made their travel like this, that would be 50% of the way of getting me back into the game. To be perfect, because exploration is something that I do. And if I could do travel more like this and less with the random jumpy BS thing that we do now, that would be better. But the other half of it would need to be, if we're going to do the fleet, they need to do something with the fleet carriers, like I said. But anyways, I mostly just wanted to highlight the, is this a new one? Oh, finally found a new one. I mostly just wanted to highlight that this method of travel is how travel should be done. It doesn't require you to be tediously involved in the process. You still have to take time to get there. It still takes time to get there. you still have to kind of pay attention, because if you don't, something's going to come along and smash your ship to bits, or you'll run into something or whatever. But you're not having to be constantly involved. And that's the difference. Okay? So for those of you who somehow just didn't understand, this is what I'm talking about. Galactic Super Cruise, where you hop into the Galaxy version of Super Cruise and point yourself in a direction, point yourself towards a star and go. Or a long jump module that holds you into a loading screen. So, because like, you would be able to go into the Galaxy map and look around at different stars within your range and find a star that you think might be cool, and then jump to that one instead of just randomly jumping towards different things. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then if you need to go back to the bubble for some reason, you don't have to sit there and spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours manually jumping. You can be spending that time doing something more productive while your ship does the work. So that's all I'm saying. Anyways, thanks for watching. I just wanted to show this as a comparison so that people can understand what I'm talking about. This game does travel correctly. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.